few years ago, I remember perfectly a morning when I got out of bed and felt that something in my lower back had gone completely rigid. It was as if my lumbar area had glued itself together. I couldn't bend, I couldn't fully straighten up, and every movement reminded me there was a sharp, deep pain there that wouldn't let me breathe easy. It wasn't the first time I'd felt it, and it wouldn't be the last. And maybe it's happened to you too, that sensation of being locked up, of any twist or effort being able to leave you immobilized for hours or even days. When it happens, everyday life becomes a challenge, tying your shoes, bending down to pick something up, even walking a few steps. The lumbar back is the true pillar of our body. It supports almost everything we do, sitting, standing up, turning, walking. It's an area that accumulates the weight of the years, of poor posture, of a sedentary lifestyle, and also of emotional tension. Because even if we don't think about it, the body stores in the muscles what the mind keeps quiet, and the lower back is one of those places where it all piles up. Over the years, I learned that the solution isn't always in strong medications or in resting for weeks. Sometimes the simplest thing can become the most effective, and that's what I want to share with you today. A natural, accessible, homemade remedy that has accompanied generations, and that I myself use to release that lumbar stiffness. I'm talking about something as simple as warm oil, applied calmly, with patience and with awareness. In this video, I want to tell you how I prepare it, how I apply it, and most importantly, what simple techniques you can combine at home so your back can move freely again. This isn't about promising miracles or replacing medical attention when it's necessary, but about restoring your confidence in your own body and giving it the chance to heal with natural resources. So stay with me until the end, because it may be that this simple yet powerful tip helps you get up tomorrow with less pain and more vitality. And before we continue, I'd love to get to know you a bit more. Tell me in the comments how many years old you are and where you're watching us from. I'll be thrilled to read you and to know in what part of the world you're taking care of your health with us. Understanding. Lower back pain. Lower back pain is one of the most common problems in adult life, and without exaggeration, almost everyone has felt it at some point. When we talk about the lumbar area, we're referring to the lower part of the back, right where the spine supports much of the body's weight and from where many of our everyday movements begin. There, you'll find a set of vertebrae, muscles, and ligaments that work tirelessly every day. They help us stand, walk, bend, lift things, even maintain balance when we're barely sitting. That's why, when that area suffers, life itself seems to come to a halt. The causes of lower back pain are varied, but some are very common. One of the most frequent is poor posture. Spending hours at a table or a computer without minding how we sit creates tensions that build up day after day. The body adapts, but at the cost of forcing muscles and joints that sooner or later demand a break. Another very common factor is a sedentary lifestyle. When we stop moving, the muscles that support the spine lose strength. And a back without muscular support is a vulnerable back. It's like a house with weak foundations. Any small movement can destabilize it. With age, natural changes also appear in the body. The discs that separate the vertebrae wear down, elasticity decreases, and the muscles become less resilient. It's not a punishment, but a normal process of passing time. However, when combined with other unhealthy habits, it becomes fertile ground for pain to appear more frequently and last longer. That said, not all lower back pain is the same. There are temporary aches that can arise after a specific effort, like lifting something heavy or sleeping in an awkward position. They usually improve in a few days if we mind our posture, apply heat, and rest enough. But then, there are chronic problems, those that repeat over and over or never fully go away. In those cases, the pain isn't only physical, it also affects the mind and the mood. Living with constant pain wears down patience, disrupts sleep, and steals the motivation to stay active. Those who have suffered intense lower back pain know how limiting it can be. Walking becomes a slow, painful task. Sleep is no longer rest because positions that used to be comfortable now cause stabs of pain. Even the simplest tasks, like bending down to pick up an object or climbing a few steps, turn into real challenges. Lower back pain isn't a simple discomfort. It's a message from the body, a way of reminding us it needs attention, mindful movement, and care. And understanding its causes is the first step to starting to treat it with respect without neglecting what it's telling us. When the back locks up, anyone who has felt a locked back knows it's not a simple pain, but a sensation of total blockage. From one moment to the next, the muscles of the lumbar area turn hard as a rock, and any attempt to move becomes torment. It's not only discomfort, it's the impression that the spine has decided to shut its doors and trap you inside your own body. When it happens, even the most ordinary things become impossible. Getting up from a chair can feel like climbing a mountain. Turning to reach something on the table feels like an enormous effort. And the worst is the feeling of fragility, the fear that one wrong move could leave you paralyzed for hours or even days. I remember one day in particular. It was a quiet morning, and I bent down to pick up a book that had fallen on the floor. As I did, I felt a sharp jab in my lower back, as if someone had hooked me from the inside. In that very instant, I froze. I couldn't straighten up or stay fully bent. The rest of the day was a series of clumsy movements, leaning on the walls, half sitting, searching for a position that would give me some relief. That day taught me that the back doesn't warn twice. When it locks up, it takes over. Physiologically, what happens at those moments has a simple explanation. The muscles in the lumbar area go into a spasm, which is nothing more than a sudden involuntary contraction. It's as if the body activated an emergency brake to protect the spine from a movement it considers dangerous. The problem is that this natural defense, instead of helping, ends up creating stiffness and pain. Muscle spasm blocks mobility because the fibers stay tense, unable to relax on their own. It's a vicious cycle. Pain produces more tension, and tension increases the pain. So even if the initial cause is a bad move or an unexpected load, what really prolongs the discomfort is the muscle's inability to return to its normal state. This kind of lockup doesn't distinguish ages, though with the years it becomes more common. Intervertebral discs lose flexibility, muscles become less elastic, and any poorly calculated effort can trigger the storm. It's as if the body, tired of so many years of effort, said, "That's enough." Living a day with a locked back is to experience vulnerability in the flesh. It reminds you that you rely on that area for everything, and without it, the world becomes smaller and more limited. Understanding this phenomenon is essential to valuing the care the back needs, and also to appreciating simple remedies that help relax it and restore its mobility. Common remedies that don't always work. When the back locks up, the most common reaction is to look for a quick fix. No one wants to spend days in pain, so we turn to what seems most accessible: pills, cold creams, or absolute rest. And while these remedies can offer momentary relief, they don't always solve the real problem. In fact, sometimes they can prolong it or even make it worse. Pills. Immediate relief, long-term dependence. Painkillers or anti-inflammatories are often the first thing you look for in the medicine cabinet. Taking a tablet can reduce pain in a few hours and create the feeling that everything is under control. However, the effect is temporary. The discomfort diminishes, but the cause remains. The risk is relying too much on pills and forgetting that what the body needs is attention, proper movement, and steady care. Moreover, over time, repeated use of medications can cause side effects, stomach irritation, blood pressure problems, or kidney damage. Cold creams, misleading relief. Another common resource is creams or gels with a cooling effect. When applied, they create an immediate sensation of freshness that distracts the brain from the pain. But that sensation doesn't last, and in many cases it doesn't act on the deep muscle tension that is the root of the problem. Cold can be useful for recent injuries, like a blow or sudden inflammation, but when we're dealing with a lumbar spasm caused by stiffness and lack of mobility, what's most needed is heat to relax and improve circulation, not cold that tightens the area even more. Excessive rest, a silent enemy. Perhaps the most repeated advice of the past was, If your back hurts, stay in bed. And while resting for 1 or 2 days can help calm an acute crisis, prolonging that rest is a mistake. Muscles need movement to stay active and strong. Spending too much time lying down weakens the spine's support and creates a vicious cycle. The more still you are, the more the muscles tighten and the longer the pain takes to disappear. Instead of helping, prolonged rest turns discomfort into a chronic problem. The needed reflection is not about saying that these remedies are useless, but about understanding that by themselves, they aren't the definitive answer. They all have their place, but it depends on the context. The real challenge is listening to the body and giving it what it truly needs. Sometimes the simple, the thing that seems too basic to take seriously, is what brings the most benefit. A massage with warm oil, a gentle walk, stretching exercises, and mindful breathing can do more for a locked back than a tablet or a cream that only masks the pain. It isn't magic or superstition, it's giving the body back the movement and warmth it has lost. The power of heat. Heat has always been one of the oldest and most effective resources for relieving muscle and joint pain. It's no coincidence, science explains it well. When we apply heat to a stiff area, the blood vessels dilate, circulation improves, and with it, more oxygen and nutrients reach the tissues. That increased blood flow helps muscles relax and accumulated waste products clear out more quickly. Imagine a contracted muscle like a taut, tangled rope. Heat acts like invisible hands that soften the knots and bring back flexibility. It also stimulates nerve endings, reducing the pain signal that reaches the brain. It doesn't eliminate the root cause, but it creates the ideal environment for the body to begin its own recovery process. There are different ways to apply heat. Hot compresses are perhaps the best known. They're practical and easy to use, though their warmth dissipates quickly and sometimes doesn't penetrate deeply. Then, there are hot baths, which have the advantage of enveloping the whole body in relaxing heat. The problem is, they aren't always accessible, they require more time, and they don't let you target the lower back precisely. And finally, there's the application of warm oils. This is where tradition and science meet. Unlike compresses, oil retains heat for longer, and massaging it into the skin allows the temperature to spread evenly. In addition, the direct contact of massage activates local circulation and further enhances the relaxing effect. Oil works as a perfect vehicle for heat because it doesn't only transmit temperature, it also offers properties of its own depending on the type you choose. As it's spread with the hands, friction raises the temperature and lets the muscle receive a double stimulus, warmth, and the gentle pressure that releases tension. Oil as a remedy. The use of oils for therapeutic purposes isn't a recent trend. Since ancient times, different cultures have recognized in them a source of relief and healing. In India, for example, the Ayurvedic tradition recommends massages with warm oils to balance the body's energy, relax the muscles, and improve circulation. In the Mediterranean, olive oil has for centuries been not only an essential food, but also a resource to soften the skin and calm physical discomfort. In Latin America, coconut oil and other homemade preparations have accompanied families as a natural remedy for pain and stiffness. Each oil has particular properties. Olive oil is rich in antioxidants and fatty acids that nourish the skin and reduce inflammation. Coconut oil is light, absorbs quickly, and provides a sensation of freshness that soothes tissues. Sesame oil, widely used in Eastern practices, is denser and warmer, ideal for retaining heat longer and reaching deeper into the muscles. Beyond their differences, all oils share a virtue. They act as a protective barrier on the skin while transmitting heat evenly. That combination allows the temperature to reach deeper layers and let the stiffness gradually give way. The specific benefits of massage with warm oils go beyond the physical. By lubricating the skin, the contact becomes softer and more pleasant, avoiding painful friction. As it penetrates the tissue, the oil helps relax the musculature and provides a prolonged sense of relief. And when combined with mindful breathing and self-care, it becomes a ritual that not only heals the body, but also calms the mind. That's why warm oil shouldn't be seen only as a home remedy, but as a bridge between ancestral wisdom and modern well-being. It's simple, economical, natural, and deeply effective when used with patience and consistency. Preparing the warm oil. The first step to making the most of warm oil is preparing it correctly. It may seem like a minor detail, but temperature is the key difference between finding relief or causing a burn. That's why it's essential to do it calmly, without rushing, and paying attention to every step. It's best to choose a good quality base oil, such as olive, coconut, or sesame. Place a small amount in a heat-resistant container, preferably glass or stainless steel. Never heat it directly over a flame or heating element, since oil can reach very high temperatures in seconds and lose its properties. The safest way is the bain-marie method. Put water in a pot and place the container with the oil inside it. As you heat slowly, the oil rises in temperature evenly and in a controlled way. This prevents it from burning or oxidizing. Just a few minutes are enough to reach the right temperature. Now then, how do you know if the oil is ready? The golden rule is simple. Always test it on a sensitive part of the skin, such as the inner wrist. Place a drop, and if it feels warm and pleasant without causing a sting, it's at the exact point. The oil shouldn't be so hot that it's uncomfortable, nor so cool that it fails to create the intended effect. The goal is to transmit gentle warmth, not aggressive heat. Once you've mastered the basic preparation, you can enrich the oil with herbs or essential oils. Rosemary is a great ally, known for stimulating circulation and easing stiffness. Lavender brings deep relaxation and calms the nervous system. Mint provides freshness and can complement the warmth with a cooling sensation on the skin. To add them, just put in a few drops of essential oil or infuse the base oil with the herbs for a few minutes, always taking care not to let it boil. Preparing warm oil isn't just a technical step, it's also a moment of awareness. It's pausing for an instant, watching the warmth rise little by little, and setting the stage for the relief to come. Turning this simple act into a ritual of self-care helps the body receive it with greater openness and trust. Proper application to the lumbar area. Once the warm oil is ready, the next step is to apply it to the lumbar area with care and patience. It's not just about putting it on the skin, but about accompanying it with movements that let the muscle release accumulated tension. The first gesture is to place a few drops of warm oil in the palms and rub them gently to spread the heat. Then, apply it to the lower back with circular, slow, steady movements. The key is not to press too hard. A locked back needs softness, not brute force. The circles should gradually widen from the center outward, as if you wanted to make room in the stiff area. After the circular movements, you can alternate with long strokes from bottom to top, following the spine's natural path. This helps activate circulation and distribute warmth evenly. It's important to keep a calm rhythm without hurrying, since the muscle needs time to relax. A useful technique is to pause for a few seconds on the points where you feel the most hardness. There, instead of pressing hard, it's better to keep the hand still, let the warmth penetrate, and accompany it with deep breathing. By inhaling and exhaling slowly, the body receives the signal that it can let go of the tension. Breathing is, in fact, an essential element in this process. If, while the oil is applied, the person breathes in a choppy or agitated way, the muscle will remain on alert. In contrast, when breathing is unhurried, the nervous system calms down and the musculature understands it's time to loosen. For that reason, every application should be accompanied by a mindful breathing rhythm. Inhale through the nose, hold the air for an instant, and release it gently through the mouth. Ideally, dedicate at least 10 or 15 minutes to this application. A quick dab isn't enough. The body needs time to respond. And most importantly, never force it. If the pain intensifies with a movement, stop. Massage with warm oil doesn't seek to break the stiffness, but to coax it to dissolve little by little. With proper application, the back begins to feel progressive relief, first warmth, then softness, and finally, freer movement. This simple ritual not only acts on the muscles, it also sends the brain a message of calm and care. Complete at-home routine. Massage with warm oil is a powerful tool, but its benefits multiply when it's part of a complete routine. It isn't enough to apply it and expect immediate results. The body needs movement, gentle stretching, and a period of rest that allows the warmth's effect to take hold. After the massage, it's ideal to do a brief series of stretches designed for the lumbar area. These aren't complicated exercises and don't require great effort. In fact, the gentler and more controlled they are, the better they work. One of the most effective is bringing the knees to the chest. Lying on your back with the spine supported on the floor, bend your knees and gently draw them toward the chest with the help of your arms. This movement lengthens the lower area muscles and releases accumulated tension. The important thing isn't to force it, but to hold the position for a few seconds and breathe deeply. Another useful stretch is gentle twists. From the same face-up position, let the knees fall to one side while the arms remain open in a cross. Your gaze goes to the side opposite the legs. This controlled turn mobilizes the spine and relaxes the lumbar vertebrae. It's a move that, accompanied by slow breathing, brings great relief. The exercise known as cat-cow is also highly recommended. With hands and knees on the floor, arch the back upward like a cat, and then lower the abdomen toward the floor while lifting the head like a stretching cow. This dynamic movement alternates contraction and extension of the spine, restoring elasticity. After stretching, it's best to rest for a few minutes lying on your back, with the legs slightly bent or supported on a cushion. That rest time allows the warm oil to keep working, circulation to stabilize, and the body to integrate the feeling of relief. It's a moment to let go, close your eyes, and allow the warmth to finish its work. The complete routine, warm oil, massage, stretches, and rest, not only fights occasional stiffness, it also teaches the body to remember the importance of moving, breathing, and caring for itself. Doing it consistently, even 2 or 3 times per week, can make a big difference in quality of life. Nothing is more convincing than the experience of those who have lived lower back pain firsthand and found relief in simple remedies. Real stories remind us that we aren't alone on this path and that there are always alternatives to regain well-being. Mary, a woman of 74 years old, says she spent months waking up every morning with a stiff back. She had tried painkillers and orthopedic braces, but nothing gave lasting relief. It was her granddaughter who told her about warm oil. At first, she hesitated, thinking it would be a grandmother's remedy, but she decided to try it. After several weeks of massages and stretches, she began to notice she could bend more easily. Today, she says not only her mobility improved, but also her mood, because she felt again that she had control over her body. Another case is George, 80 years old, who suffered a back crisis when lifting a heavy object at home. He spent several days almost immobile and feared he would never walk comfortably again. A neighbor taught him to prepare warm rosemary oil and to apply it with circular movements to the lumbar area. He paired this care with small daily walks. In 1 month, the pain had diminished so much that he went back to tending his garden, something he thought he had lost. There's also the testimony of Carmen, 68 years old, who describes how the ritual of warm oil became a moment of connection with herself. She says that beyond the physical relief, each application gave her the chance to listen, to breathe, and to dedicate time to her well-being. For her, it was more than a treatment. It was an act of self-love. These stories remind us that big changes don't always come from complicated solutions. Sometimes, the simple and steady opens doors that seemed closed. Warm oil, applied with patience and combined with small habits, has restored confidence and freedom of movement to many people. Mistakes you must avoid. Warm oil can become a great ally for easing lumbar stiffness, but like any remedy, it needs to be used with care and consistency. There are very common mistakes that can ruin the experience or keep you from getting the expected results. The first is using oil that's too hot. Many people believe that the hotter it is, the better the relief, and they end up applying it without checking the temperature. This isn't just a mistake, it can also cause skin burns. The warmth must be gentle, pleasant, never painful. The rule of testing it on the wrist isn't a whim. It's the safest way to protect yourself. Another frequent mistake is applying it only once and expecting miracles. A locked back doesn't resolve with a one-off gesture. Warm oil helps, but it needs repetition and consistency for the muscles to truly regain flexibility. One massage is a first step, not the finish line. The key is to make this remedy part of your routine, at least several times per week, and to accompany it with healthy habits. It's also a mistake to rely solely on the oil without combining it with movement and stretching. Heat relaxes, but if the body remains stiff and unexercised, the problem quickly returns. Warm oil should be seen as part of a plan that includes mobility, breathing, and postural care. Lastly, one of the most harmful mistakes is neglecting posture in daily life. There's no point in applying oil and massaging the back if we spend the day slumped in front of the television, lifting weights incorrectly, or sleeping on a mattress that doesn't support the spine. Daily posture is the true basis of lumbar health, and no remedy can make up for constant neglect. Avoiding these mistakes is as important as applying the oil well. Only then can we turn a simple remedy into a real ally against stiffness and pain. Beyond oil, preventive habits. Warm. Oil is a valuable aid, but the real solution to lower back pain is prevention. Adopting simple habits in daily life makes the difference between living limited by stiffness or enjoying a strong, flexible back. Hydration is one of those fundamental habits. The body is composed largely of water, and the discs that separate the vertebrae also depend on it to remain elastic. When we don't drink enough, those discs dry out and become more fragile. Drinking water throughout the day doesn't only benefit the kidneys and the skin, it also protects the spine. Moderate exercise is another key pillar. It's not about intense training, but about keeping the body moving, walking, swimming, practicing yoga, or doing daily stretches. These actions keep the muscles active and prevent the back from becoming sedentary. A spine accompanied by strong muscles is less likely to lock up. Posture also deserves special attention. Using a suitable chair, keeping your feet flat on the floor, and avoiding slumping while reading or watching television are details that seem small, but added up day after day, prevent big problems. The same goes for the bed. A mattress that's too soft or too hard can ruin rest and overload the lumbar area. Finding a balanced firmness is essential. Even shoes play an important role. Footwear that doesn't offer good support generates imbalances in your stride that affect the back. Comfortable, stable shoes help more than many imagine. In the long run, keeping the spine strong means caring for it from every angle: nutrition, movement, rest, and mindful attention. Warm oil can relieve, but it's daily habits that build a healthy back that resists the passage of the years. Living without a locked back. We've traveled together a path that began with a description of lower back pain and led to the discovery of a simple yet powerful remedy: warm oil. We learned what stiffness in the lower area really is, why it appears, and how heat can become a natural ally to dissolve tension. We saw that pills, cold creams, or excessive rest aren't always the answer, and that sometimes the simplest thing is the most effective. We learned about the history of oils in different cultures, their proper preparation, and the techniques for applying them safely. We also discovered that this remedy works best when combined with stretching, rest, and good lifestyle habits. The final message is clear. Age does not mean resigning yourself to pain. There are always ways to regain mobility, to live with fewer limitations and with more confidence in your own body. Warm oil is a reminder that nature and tradition still have much to offer us in times when the immediate often seems like the only solution. I invite you to try this method at home with consistency and patience, and to observe how small gestures can bring great changes. Remember that the true power lies in the combination of care, warmth, movement, breathing, and awareness. And before I say goodbye, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever tried a natural remedy for your back? Tell me in the comments, and don't forget to say how many years old you are and where you're watching us from. Subscribe to the channel and share this video with someone who might need it. Together we can show that lower back pain doesn't have to set the pace of our lives.